Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com or look for us on Facebook at Voices from the Bench. Greetings and welcome to episode number 92 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
My name is Barbara. How's everybody doing? Hopefully great.
What's happening, Barbara? How was your holiday?
Fantastic. I had a wonderful time with my family. I cooked, I made fudge, and it was wonderful. How about you? You got married again, eh? Renewed your vows? Congratulations.
Got married on Christmas Eve, so we went back to the library museum we got married at and renewed our vows with our dogs and the kids, so that was fun.
Well, that's wonderful. Congratulations.
Actually, thank you. And actually, Christmas Day, the kids went back to their dads, and we went to the casino, because that's what you do in Indiana when nothing else is open on Christmas.
So did you make any money? Did you, or did you lose it?
I lost it. She won big, so we walked away pretty happy. Yep.
Merry Christmas to you guys.
And the funny thing is she wins it on the Elvis slot machine.
Oh my God, that's so cool. That's nice karma for you.
Lucky all around.
Cool.
You still have the lab open before the end of the year, don't you? The 30th and 31st, you guys open?
Yes, Elvis. We're open. I'm actually working tomorrow. We've got a crew coming in. I'm going to go do a couple cases tomorrow, which is Sunday. And then we're open Monday, Tuesday. Hopefully we'll get out a little early, but it didn't really help on Christmas Eve. We didn't leave till 5. So I'm hoping for better New Year's Eve. But I'm not much of a New Year's Eve crazy girl. So I'm just going to chill out at home, watch movies, and relax with my son. So how about you? You going out?
New Year's for us, we're thinking about going to an all-night roller skating place. So.
Wow, that's super fun.
Yeah. How's that for crazy New Year's Eve plans?
I was a competitive roller skater when I was like 10, 11. So that's one of my favorite things to do. So enjoy and don't break anything. I know how you roll with broken bones, so be careful.
So far, so good.
I would hope so.
So we have a special conversation we got at LMT Lab Day East.
Oh, yeah.
So there we were, Barb and I were in the booth looking for our next victim. I mean interview. We were looking for our next interview. And the one and only Judy Fishman from LMT comes up with someone and says that we have to interview her.
And I said, oh my God, I've been wanting to interview her. We've been trying to get a hold of her all day.
You seem to know who she was. I have no idea who this lady was. I've never seen her. I never heard from her. But then she sits down and starts to tell her story.
Yeah, amazing.
Kamilla Siekierski talks about learning dental technology in communist Poland and then coming to America to eventually be a lab owner. Mm-hmm. It's one of those moments when you are just so fascinated by one person that can have so much struggle and success in her life. When we were doing this conversation, I knew it had to be the one we played to wrap up 2019 and to start a new decade.
Aww.
So please join us as we talk with Kamilla Siekierski.
All right.
Is zirconia giving your lab a hard time on your full arch cases?
Yes, for me.
Have you experienced warping or breakage in your sintering oven?
Yes, for me again.
Have you ever had an arch return for adjustment and had to scrap it and start all over?
Yes. So, there's a better way.
Introducing Crystal Ultra Nano Ceramic by Digital Dental, the better alternative for full arch dentistry. A Crystal Ultra arch is 60% lighter than a zirconia arch, is easily adjusted chairside, and can be milled on a 1-to-1 basis with no centering required.
That saves you, 10 to 12 hours right there?
Not only is a Crystal Ultra arch better dentistry for patients, it's better for your lab as well. To learn more about the future of full arch dentistry, visit www.crystalultra.com/voices. Crystal Ultra, feel the difference. Voices from the Bench. The interview.
All right, so hi everybody. Again, we're from Lab Day East, and we're here with an icon, Miss Kamilla Siekierski. Hello. I've known you for so long, and you're so amazing. And the Judy Fishman just came over to Elvis and I and says, you must interview Kamilla. And so we're so grateful that you're on the podcast.
Well, it's an honor to be interviewed by you. And I'm delighted you want to speak with the old generation.
So tell us. I know a little bit about your history. So how did you get into the dental laboratory industry?
To the dental laboratory, I get funny way. I was in art school, painting, sculpturing, and having a good time. And my father decided this is not what he wants for me for my life. So he said, you have to go to the dental technology school. And those days, you don't say no to your parents. You obey them. So was exam, and every subject, that was in Poland, Polish and math and chemistry and physics and everything. Well, I work very hard on this exam because I want to make sure I flunk 100%. So every question I have I answer wrong.
You wanted to flunk.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I was delighted to be in art school and have not any intention to be in a dental technology. So I flunked 100% all the exams. And those days to get to the school, you not only have to pass the exam, but you also have to pay a little under the table. And my father met the director of the school, where he already gave him some money, and the director said, you tell me why your daughter don't want to get to the dental technology school. And my father said, oh no, she wants very much. And he said no, because she flunked 100%. When somebody flunked 100%, they know she's a good student. She did not miss the one question answer right. So for that reason, we know she passed the exam, and I have to talk to other teachers and explain it to them situation, and we decide she's in.
Oh, wow.
So I was in Girl Scouts, and I was the leader on a vacation, and my father came to visit me, and he said, I have a news for you. He already knew it, but I did not know he knew it. He said, and he kept looking at me. My father was the economist, so was businessman. And he looked at me, and he said, well, darling, you accepted to the dental technology school. And I thought the lightning struck me.
Yeah, you're like, I
because
purposely failed.
I know I failed. How am I? And then I know I compose myself in a second and say, Daddy, that's so fantastic. I'm so happy. And my father said this was the first moment I was not sure I did the right thing. Aww. Because he said, you belong to theater. You immediately camouflage what was it. And we spoke about it 20 years later. Because for 20 years I have no guts to mention that subject, and many years later he said to me sometime about it, and I almost fell over.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know for all those years he knew what I was doing. So the school year started, and of course I did anything I could. I do lousy. But it was very difficult from being a student to suddenly being a dummy. And before I realized, I was complimented for my work, and because I was too stupid to be smart. To keep. My ambition did not let me do it, and I start doing well, and I get to the point they even give me and my girlfriend the money for achievements, being so good.
Did you start to enjoy it at that point?
At that point, I enjoyed it because I was complimented constantly, and apparently I drove on it. But and we were first and the last one to get money because we started learning. We were going to the movie houses and eat the sweets. And that's how we used up the money. So
And this is in Poland, right?
Poland, yeah.
Wow.
And the next thing in my career was I did not want to go straight to work for a laboratory because I did not thought I learned enough yet. Even was 3-year school and was very good school, very strict. All the professors from medical academy was teaching us.
Wow.
Yeah, was and
Very
it's
good.
still the school exists and
Oh,
it's
does
still
it?
very well run.
Wow.
Still very well run. I got, and it was very hard to get employed also. And I got employment in a laboratory which was belonged to army and actually was belong to something which is equal to KGB.
Oh.
Cool.
So they have a top technicians. And one technician said to me, he told me to do something, so I did it. And he said, you have to tell me, honey, you want to be a technician or you want to be a great technician? I said, I want to be a great technician. He said, so with never say no to me and you do what I want you to do. You know what he makes me to do for a whole week? Just mix the plaster. He showed me one. He checked it, dump it. For 8 hours a day, I was just mixing a plaster and dumping. I was crying.
Yeah.
I was doing that and crying, and other people said, why don't you give her a break? He said, no, I need to train her to be perfect. And that's what my beginning of working, and I was very, very, very fortunate.
So basically, he had you do one thing over and over.
Over
until
and
you
over,
perfected
because
it.
he said very important thing. There was no electric mixers those days. This we talking of late 50s, early 60s. And he said when you cannot mix plaster well, and a plaster is the first material you're using to fill it up impression, then that model is not going to be accurate.
Yeah.
So it has to be perfect. And a few months later, I asked him why he chose me. He said, because I have a son in your age and he's completely not interested in a profession, and you have a talent. I was in an art school, so it was easy. And he said, I want to make a perfect out of you.
Nice. So he was your first mentor, huh?
He was my first mentor in the industry. And then I took the job in a lab across the country, so I was far away from my strong-hand father. Because it was a tragedy in the industry, in that laboratory, and from 8 technicians, they were down to 2, and they need somebody. So I started working there, and there was another unique thing. Months later, we have one prosthodontist running the division, the lab, and the office. They took them to the army. And they give him only a couple weeks to stay with us. And they did not give a replacement for him. So on Harry, he taught me how to take impression, how to take bites, how to prep the tooth. And me, straight
you were
from
that
school,
girl, huh? Yeah.
now was learning dentistry.
Wow.
And then he left, and all the technicians was doing their private work also in a lab. So they don't want to do patients. So since I was eager, so I was taking patients for all 3 of us, and we would require, each one of us was require 32 dentures a month.
32 dentures a month?
A month, yeah.
That's a
we
lot.
have to do.
That's a lot.
So I was getting 96 patients a month, plus my own work.
Wow.
Because on doing dentistry, I was not paid. I was doing lab work, I was paid. So I did that, and apparently they find I was good.
Yeah.
Or let's say they need me. So I decided I'm not going to work Saturdays. Those days in a communist country, everybody has to work 6 days a week. Only Sunday we have off. And I heard in other countries they don't work Saturdays. So I figured out, what the heck, I'm not going to work Saturdays. And I work like crazy. I work to 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the evening to do my work. During the work hours, I was taking patients, and I got good at it. That's where it come to me, the love for dentistry and understanding what is on the side of the office.
Yeah.
So now I was the office.
Yeah. You're seeing final.
Yes, yes, because I was taking impression. I was watching what my colleagues was doing. I was taking impressions for me. And I was making hell of a good money because I was paid for doing extras.
Yeah.
You know, when I got Crown and Bridge, we were only dentures. When I got Crown and Bridge, I prepped the teeth. I give my colleagues. They got the extra job. So I came out like a bandit.
So I thought when you said that you didn't work Saturdays, that's when you said, I'm going to the United States.
Yeah, my father says there's no room for me in a communist country. My father was born in Kiev and ran away during a revolution as a teenager. He took his mother and literally from Kiev to Warsaw, from another country to another country, on foot. We made it to Warsaw. Yeah, so he was not very fond of communism and socialism and all that garbage. So he said, there's no room for you in this country, you have to get out. He tried to push me to Germany. I was interested, but did not work out. And then I have a baby. I got married, I have a baby. And my grandmother says, the oldest grandson and the oldest granddaughter are going to be godmother and godfather. But always grandson was in United States. So since his father was the first businessman, they were in a steel industry, was the first businessman to do the business with Poland.
Interesting.
He sent his son to another, his son was like in 30s, he was a president of the company, and his son was doing business, so we did also baptizing. And he asked me, what will be my wish? Do I have any wish? I was corresponding with him for a few years, and I said to go to United States, but take my husband first. He will clear the path, and then I will come with my daughter. And few weeks later, come invitation for me and my daughter.
Aww,
in just a couple
that's a
weeks.
Great story.
Yeah.
What year was
I
that?
was shocked. 1963.
Okay. Wow.
I was absolutely shocked. But, you know, you don't look in the mouth of the gifted horse.
No, you don't.
And you have to work very fast, using connections, very hard to get out of communist Poland. So I use connections since I work once in a KGB hospital.
Oh, yeah.
So I went to police to get the passport, and they said to me, okay, you're going there for vacation, fine. When you come back, you have to tell us everything. You saw it, who you talked to it. Oh, I promise everything. I promise them I will tell them everything. I will show them everything, anything I learn over there, because I know I'm not coming back. And I left.
Do you think they knew you weren't coming back?
No.
No, they really
I
thought you were
don't
going.
think so, yeah.
Oh, they thought they knew who was my family here. And when I landed here was July 4th.
Wow.
July
Look
4th.
at that.
I landed on the morning of July 4th in Montreal. Another cousin picked me up. He said, your cousin who invited you here left me $200 for you. That was lots of money those days, 1963. And we crossing a border. And I said, well, leave my daughter sleep in a car. He said, oh, no. Americans like children. So you take her. And she was sleeping, and I took her. We went through the border in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yes.
I love
And
it.
we came. My cousin who invited me have his properties in Canada, so he was for vacation. He left me $200, and he rented a room with the family for me, which I was happy. But I look $200. I was paying $50 for a room and board. I said to myself, it's only 4 weeks, I have money. And then what? So I told the lady in the house where I was living, could you help me to find a job? She said, no, I don't have any of those connections. But my uncle saw me for one lunch, and he said, my son secured you, so you're fine. I'm leaving to Paris. He had an apartment on the Champs-Élysées. He said, so anything you need, call my vice president, Mr. Romer. So when I calculated, second day I'm here,
Yeah.
I figured it out. I'm going to be in trouble. So I called him and I said, Mr. Romer, I'm so-and-so. He said, yeah, I know about you. and I said, well, I need a job. He said, job? Your uncle did not told me I should be looking for a job for you. Plus he knew I was a visitor, so he know legalities. I don't.
Yeah.
And I said, Mr. Romer, my uncle said, anything I need, you're supposed to do for me. I need a job. And was a dead silence. And Mr. Romer said, sounds like the rest of the family.
That's funny.
And then later on, we become to be friends. So I went to the laboratory.
He got you a job here in the States at a lab.
So, resume. He said, write resume. What's resume? I don't know what's resume. I was not speaking English. So he said it's about the life, your life, but he said only professional. So he said I was sent chauffeur, write in Polish, and secretary will translate to, they have a Russian secretary, she will translate to English. I have to go to my dentist, so I will give him your resume. He said, should I send the driver in a week or 2 weeks? How long it takes you? I said, 1 hour. He said, 1 hour, you're going to have a resume ready? I said, yeah, I did not live that long yet. So the chauffeur came. What can I write?
Yeah.
I was just working few years. So he went for teeth cleaning and give the dentist my resume. And the dentist gave my resume to the first salesman, who was Aaron Zuckerman, the guy who built Zahn Laboratory. Wow. Zahn Laboratory was, and he was still going from door to door and selling his materials. So he brought to the lab, and so they called immediately. I was like 3 days here, or 4, and I begged this lady to go with me. We went, and they asked her what she can do and this and that. I said, anything. Crown and bridge, dentures. Oh, dentures. Okay, can you set teeth? Yeah. So they give me one full mouth articulator and the teeth. So I look at her and I said, ask them, do they have any more? And they said, well, how many she wants? I said, well, at least 6. Like...
Multitasking. Let's go.
So they said she's going to be here whole day. I said no. She was translating. So I look all that. Can't read the one prescription. But, articulator and the teeth and how it should be said. So I took everything out and start setting a teeth and I knock it out.
Yeah. It's always picture time here.
Sorry, we have another celebrity in our chair with Kamilla. So, okay.
Oh, she pushed me here.
I know. We all been waiting to get you on this podcast.
Come on, sweetie.
It takes a village,
Yeah. So I knock it out, those teeth, very fast, because full mouth. it's quickest thing to set up. And I start, festooning, and they say, no, stop. So, and they told her, go home, she stays. She's hired.
Nice.
Wow.
And I was scared because I would not know how to go home.
Oh, yeah.
And when I get lost, I cannot ask.
Yeah.
So I said, no, it was Friday. I said, I come on Monday. And in a weekend, I walk with my daughter and
Figure
walk
out
back
what-
and forth, and we stop on every corner, turn around, look how it look like when you're coming from another direction. And Monday morning, I went to work.
That is such a great
Oh,
story.
I tell you, people, I cannot express how good people were to me. They called me stupid Polak because I couldn't, was a laboratory. I was the only woman there, and they was dirty. So I start cleaning. I start chiseling a wax, shining, and then when I finish all the benches, I start cleaning the walls to my height. I clean as I can reach. And I did not understand. I hear Polak, but, and stupid, I don't know what that was. But was a part-time teacher who coming in after school. And he heard, he understood. He took a drug, then one what I use it to clean.
Yeah.
And he started cleaning. He was tall man.
So he cleaned above you. Yeah.
And that was last time anybody said stupid Polak. Because they notice somebody who is intelligent and they respect him, it's doing same thing. Maybe he told them something. And everybody was so fantastic, so helpful, and beyond I can express how nice people are.
And this was Sun at Sun Dental Labs at the time?
No, that was the Waterbury Dental Laboratory
Waterbury.
in Waterbury, Connecticut.
How long were you there for?
I was there for 3.5 years. I did not ask how much I'm going to be paid, so because did not even cross my mind. In Poland, you pay certain way, but in Poland, being paid as professional, I could not afford to live with my daughter. My husband was making money, so together we were okay. Here, on minimum wage, I was able to have an apartment in not the best of the section, but we eat, and I was paying $5 a week for a nursery. Start nursery. When they find out how much I'm earning, they told me I don't have to pay, and I said no, I'm not a beggar, and I paid. But over there, people were also phenomenal.
Where was your husband?
My husband was in Poland because they would not let whole family out. And invitation was only for me and my daughter.
Interesting.
And then, before months was over, I asked people to go with me to immigration office because I want to apply for a permanent resident. And everybody told me in a Polish society, I'm crazy. I have a visa for whole year. Why am I going to expose myself going to the immigration office? So I said, because I want a permanent paper. So where you go when your visa is over? I said, no. It's going to take time. So I want to make sure I go through the process. When my visa is over, I will be permanent resident.
Yeah.
Did not work that way. But they told me two things. Because I was in a Girl Scouts, which is a communist organization, I can apply for asylum. I said, no, that's not strong enough for asylum. So they said, okay, so then you have to come on a professional visa. You have to get papers from all the employment agency in the whole country. Is nobody with your qualification waiting for a job. And they said, and on top of it, you have to get Polish government give you okay to stay here permanently.
Oh, wow.
And I went through all that. And it took Took it almost 2 years.
Wow.
But they told me, since you apply, you already not in a danger to be deported.
Yeah.
Because you
Wonderful.
already in a process.
So you got to stay.
Yeah. So you see me stupid, just
Yeah.
25-year-old, being advised not to do it, I did it what right. And the funny thing how I got Social Security. I have no papers, right? I was working like a couple weeks, and a guy came from a Social Security to the lab. And he asked me in English, do I have a green card? And at this point, I know I'm working already illegally. So I said to myself, green I understand. Green is a green color. Wow, I have $1. They little green.
Yeah, so you said yeah.
So I said yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
When you put it together that way, you're not lying.
No, I wasn't lying. Just little. And I got the Social Security and my nickname, Kama. Because my name is Kamilla, but my nickname is Kama. So my Social Security was Kama and my last name, which I have to redo when I was retiring because I was not in the system.
Yeah.
But it worked. So I have a Social Security. I'm working illegally, but since 4 weeks I was in the system, I work legally. That's why I don't take well people being here for years illegal.
Yeah. I would have to
As
agree.
much as I like people and respect, I think you want to stay here, be legal, pay your taxes. And don't tell me now you can get all the papers. You were cheating, hold that system for
Yeah.
15, 20 years, and now you get the gift of the being a citizen of United States? Wrong.
Well said.
So I like people to apply for the papers. And it wasn't that easy. It took me a long time. Took me a time to go to Washington and persuade Polish government to... Polish government asked me why I want to stay here. And I said, it's very simple. I can lie or I can tell you the truth, what you want. Because over there I can speak. And they said, well, we want you to say the truth. I said, okay, I like the dollar lots more than Polish zloty. Why? I said, because I'm on a minimum wage with my daughter and I can stay alive. In Poland, as a professional in a state laboratory, I cannot stay alive. We have two of us working for 3 of us family.
Yep.
And the man says to me, you know what, you first one who don't lie. And he said, for that, I'm going to do everything to help you.
Nice.
And it took it 2 years. And one day he called me and he said, came diplomatic post, you got okay from Polish government. So
Wow.
this way I start my papers with immigration office, and they were absolutely wonderful. At that time I spoke English, and everybody over there was helping me, was cultural. I did not have to be scared over there. Of course I was scared because you never know you're going to get the paper or not.
And you hope so, and you wish.
And
then
soon
it
I got the
happens.
papers from American government. I applied for my husband, and then he came. And I was standing on Kennedy's with my daughter, and it was 3.5 years. And she was looking like that. She was 6 at that time. And she said, Mommy, because you have a glass and you see people in a costume. She said, Mommy, which one of those men is my daddy? She did not
She
remember.
didn't remember,
him.
yeah.
And she was, every weekend I work Saturdays to help my boss because laboratory split. My one man bought half a lab as me only employee. And another man got all the 3 employees, the owner, main owner. My boss was crippled, was have a polio.
Polio, that's what my grandma had.
When he was young, and he was in a wheelchair or on a crutches. He was very good technician, but in a laboratory, 5 o'clock, bottles comes out, everybody drink.
Really?
Oh,
Wow.
they drink a liquor like fish.
And were they all Polish?
No.
Oh, okay.
My boss was Irish. Another boss was Jewish.
Wow.
Americans, they all Americans, and they were drinking. And I did not know how to say no. And they give me a glass, fill it up with vodka. I said, oh my God. First of all, I hate vodka. And the second, I don't want to drink. But I was afraid to lose a job. So I tried to drink that, and now I have to walk half a town when I already swallowed the liquor. So I asked somebody how to say no, thank you. And a woman told me, say them, thank you very much. I do not want a drink. I would prefer to have a glass of milk. She made the dumb out of me. When I said that, everybody laughed. Yeah. And another person in a laboratory told me in the first week, or maybe a little longer, when boss talk to you and you don't want to listen or you don't understand, you have to tell him, shut up.
Oh, jeez. Who's advising you, anyways?
Oh, yeah. People make a monkey
Oh,
of
my
the
goodness.
people. So I come home and I said, Mr. Ryback, I already have to know how to say something. And he said, what? I said, when my boss talked to me, I know how to answer. Know how you answer. Shut up. And he looked at me and he said, Mrs. Siekierski, you're really starting well. And you still have a job? And I said, yeah, but my boss did not talk to me yet. And now, what did I say? And he told me, what did I say? You know how hard it was for me to trust people?
Yeah.
In
I
my
bet.
laboratory, when years later I have my own laboratory, was prohibited swear, prohibited when is a foreigner, somebody who don't speak English, you're not allowed to teach him bad, or I fired.
Good. I love that.
Yeah.
And so was no swear, no bad teaching, and everybody
alcohol.
during no alcohol. Everybody during 8 hours have to speak English. When you have a lunchtime or after work, you can speak any language you want. Spanish, Polish, German, Russian, but not during work hours.
I like that because when they go around me and they're speaking a language that I don't understand, you don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have people who try to do this because they think they can speak Polish because I'm Polish. And one guy came to me and he said, anytime you leave the room, they talking about me. So I start walking out and standing and listening. They were not talking about him. They were talking Polish between. And I took 2 people to the office and I said, one more of Polish during work hours, you're going to be on unemployment line because you're making other people uncomfortable.
Sure.
And I said, everybody has to be comfortable. And they stopped.
Good.
Very interesting experience and good experience because I learned a lot. And I learned speak English. My luck was nobody in the laboratory who spoke Polish. So, I have no choice just to learn fast
English.
Yeah.
English. So that was very lucky. It's not because I'm smart or whatever. I'm just lucky. I'm just lucky with all the steps of my life.
Well, we're lucky to have you on our podcast.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you sound pretty smart to me.
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short.
Well, when you're 81, you cannot sound stupid
No?
because then when you're young, you look pretty and you get away. When you're old, you're not that. So you have to try to be smart. But what I want to say, this is fantastic industry. People are wonderful. All levels. Basically, people in this industry wonderful. And I tell you how both my daughters work in the lab. Marzana started when she was 9, and Eva started when she was 5.
Wow.
That's when I started.
Yeah.
Going over your mom's shoulder and just watching, and you just get enamored with it.
Well, Eva has to opaque because our metal was breaking. No, metal was good, but porcelain was breaking in the last firing.
Yeah.
Bubbling. Yeah.
And I did not know. Vic Williams was sending me his metallurgist. They could not find what wrong. So I changed company, unfortunately. Fortunately, and then I worked with Pentron. They came, and one time the guy came, I don't remember metal company, there was not argent, from California. And he says to me, very interesting thing. He said to me, you have a problem with metal? I don't ask you how and what. Just leave me alone. I will watch. And that was my lesson, how to do consulting. He watch. And you know what he says to me? It's nothing wrong with the alloys you're using. It's just a torch. You're not cleaning a torch. So he says, every day, depends on your amount of production, or often, or where your production is not that big. Once a day, you have to sandblast the end, and then clean in acid, and put it back and use it. This was the last time we have a problem with metal.
Wow.
It was absolutely ingenious.
Yeah.
And one time people did not believe, later on in business, they think I am a little freak. So I need to this torch being so clean. And suddenly we start getting problem. So I started asking, and they told me, oh, we're cleaning. So I start checking. They were not cleaning.
Of course not, yeah.
Yeah. So I said, okay, you like your job? I like mine. That torch has to be clean. And after cleaning, you have to bring on my desk, show me it's clean.
Never had another problem.
Never have another problem.
That's awesome.
So then when I do consulting now, many years later, when I come to the lab and they have a problem, I just said, just show me how you do. And when I see what doing wrong, I did not say anything. I want them to see all the way to the end. Because when you correct something, maybe something else is later. So I watch, it happened to me in Shenzhen, in China. They have a short castings. And they went to their manager. And she told them, it was a woman, Chinese woman, and she said, you technicians, you should know better. And apparently she did not know, which I know she did not know. And they finally came to me and they said, we still have a short casting, sometimes yes, sometimes not.
Yeah.
I said, okay, well, show me how you're doing with the translator. They were just investing some cases too close to the ring. So that thing gets cold. So I sit down with the translator and them, explain it to them how it's important and draw the pictures and all. I work with pictures because I was in art school, so that comes handy.
Go.
When I don't speak language, I can draw. And I explain it to them, I make them invest, and I was watching, and we put the ring, we check it from above and all.
Yeah.
And it
Never have a short casting again.
That's cool.
Such a simple things.
Sometimes takes that outside eye to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And plus that I learned you see something wrong, don't say it anything.
Wait until you see the
Wait
whole
to the
That
very,
makes
very
sense.
end. And
Yeah.
then
Don't just
That's
stop it
it,
right
yeah.
there. Yeah, wait till the end.
I still have a Chinese people writing to
I
me.
was going to ask you, are you still consulting?
I still consult, but because I'm not in the industry, I'm retired.
I see you everywhere.
Well,
LMT
you see me-
Chicago,
yeah.
LMT East, so you obviously
Cologne.
yeah.
But I don't make effort.
They come to you.
They come to me, and also, like I started 15 years ago doing consulting, I go for 3 months. 3 months, stay in a lab.
That's a long time.
I'm a first one in the lab and last one leaving. Is a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And not
I'll
being
say.
being away from the family
Sure.
for 3 months is lonely.
Significant. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not just drastically looking, but I enjoy tremendously. Every lab I did consulting, they still in touch with me.
That's how we met, by the way.
Oh,
She
is
came
that-
to Night Dental, and
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know.
several years, maybe 5-6 years ago. Yeah, we
Wow.
instantly fell in love because I'm Polish, and I still have that little shot glass you gave me. And
Yeah.
Did you
And-
find out your torches were dirty?
No. She did not have that problem.
no, I found out I had a soulmate though.
Nice.
Yes. I fell in
Sure.
love with her
Yeah,
like this, instantly,
Nice. Yeah.
instantly.
That's great.
And but I don't think my write-up was appreciated because it was too honest and too straightforward, and too what I see is wrong, I wrote it, and too I see is right, I
You wrote
spoke
that too.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it make a lot of changes at night? Did it? Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
That's awesome.
But I never heard about it. Interesting, but that's okay, that's fine. For me, it's important when did any improvement and would get improvement for you,
Yeah,
because
for me, for sure.
you should be on the top, and you were not treated like on the top. You were not treated with the respect which you command for being who you are as a professional. And at that infuriates me. So maybe I was too rough in my write-up, but I don't care. I still don't care.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah. Well, it was
Yeah.
definitely one of the highlights of my career was meeting you and being friends with you. And then later on, I found out she knows Renata and Judy. So we all met at Chicago a couple years ago. And it's just really neat how we all
awesome.
kind of know each other, especially as
Yeah.
strong Polish women. So, well, thank you so
Yeah,
much
thank you.
for
What
sharing
a
your
great
story with us.
That's wonderful.
And that's it. And then I was part of the NADL. I was in Hawaii on a national meeting where I met, and for many, many, many years I remained friends with Akira and Flora Omahara. They have a laboratory in Honolulu. That was wonderful. And my husband was coming with me, and my younger daughter, because my older daughter was in the schools. So my younger daughter was all the time in the industry. And then when I joined Dental Laboratory Conference, she was coming with me and sitting at the meetings. And one day, she was not ready, and I said, I'm not going to wait for you. I go to the meeting, and you come. And I sit all the time on the front. I save the seat for you. She was like at the time maybe 10 years old, 11. And she came, and a woman stopped her at the door. She said, it's not for children, and you don't have a badge. And she said, look at me. She looked at her and she said, oh, you must be Kamilla's daughter. And Eva said, that's my badge. And went in.
Nice.
She said, the secretary told
funny.
me that. It was secretary of the Ralph Pacman. And she said, I ran after her, and this kid is just running running all the way to the front and sit down.
She got the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm getting in this meeting whether you like it or not.
Yeah, that's great.
She said, that's my badge.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then years back, she was already in university, already working she works in the finance. And I told her, because it was farewell for Ralph Pacman, and was in California, was interesting meeting, because in the same hotel, same time was Bill Gates with family.
Whoa.
And Stanley's secretary, children, was playing with his children.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
That's
very
awesome.
interesting. And I took Eva, I said, for Ralph Pacman, farewell meeting, you have to come. So she came and she said, Mommy, was one of the biggest pleasure in my life. It was like a family reunion. He said, all those men were coming, hugging me, kissing me, giving, Eva, how you grow up, how you look. She said, was like 100 of uncles.
Oh,
I just did
that's
not
great.
know who was he. You know?
Wow.
But she was brought up in this business.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
So
yeah, thank you so much.
you
It was
so
so
much.
great to meet you.
Yeah.
you have
you.
too much material.
Oh, that's good. He's the best.
Thank you.
Today's episode is brought to you by Kettenbach. Let's talk about impressions and impression materials. Can we agree that not all incoming records your lab receives are equal in quality or have captured the details you feel necessary to move forward confidently with a fixed, removable, or implant case? NADL studies show that small, medium, and large labs all face the same awful situation of producing remakes at no charge over and over again when it might not be the lab's fault. Kettenbach and their team of manufacturer reps are here to help your lab by offering support and solutions, not chairside milling units, that will improve the incoming clinical results and consistency you and your clients are looking to achieve. Their materials are manufactured in Germany using patented technology, and in America they only sell direct for less cost. Visit www.kettenbach-dental.us to learn more about Panacell, Identium, and Celgenet impression materials, Futar bite registration, Thistleus temp material and core buildup, Mucopin soft reline, and airway metrics. Kettenbach also offers materials used every day in the dental lab, in particular the Panacell Lab Putty Hard and Lab Putty Soft. These materials can be cleanly and easily dispensed in a 1-to-1 putty matrix. There are no messy accelerator gels with this system. The Panacell Lab Putty is sold in two 5-kilogram buckets of base and catalyst and is definitely the dimensional, stable lab putty material you have been looking for. Try any of the materials risk-free today by calling Kettenbach direct at 877-532-2123. Mention the code DentalLabPodcast25 and you will receive an additional 25% off your order. Once again, call Kettenbach direct at 877-532-2123 to make the connection with a partner who can help your lab and your clients save money and increase quality coming in and going out. Thanks for your support, Kettenbach.
So we cannot thank enough Kamilla Siekierski for sitting down with us at LMT Day. Her story is amazing and one you don't hear every day. So I actually met Kamilla probably maybe 8 years ago. She came to Night Dental to consult with us and see how we could do things better. And it was just one of those people that you meet that you just have this kindred spirit. I don't know, sort of, I've known her forever and we bonded and she was amazing and she really helped mentor me and talk me through this difficult time for me in my life at Night Dental. And she was just so honest and awesome and cool. And so I just am so happy that she's on our podcast. And as you can tell, she's a talker and she has an amazing story. And so we're just really, really, really grateful that she came on.
Like I mentioned, I really don't know who she was. And as I was promoting this episode on Facebook, and I mentioned that she was going to be on it, so many people replied to the post like they were excited. It was like hearing from an old mother. Mm-hmm. It was like a family member. It's unbelievable the people we get to meet when doing this podcast.
Aw. So as we get started in the new year, again, we want to hear from you, everybody. What would you like to hear on the podcast? Hit us up at info@voicesfromthebench.com, and we can get you on, or you can give us some information on what you'd like to hear, either at an upcoming show or remotely from the comfort of your own home. It's super easy. Hit us up. Let us know.
Speaking of upcoming shows, there's still time to register for one of the greatest shows this year. First up is the must-go-to show of the year, Vision 21 in Vegas, January 16th to the 18th. This is the meeting that will ring in Barb as president of the NADL. Are you excited? Are you ready?
I am so excited, flattered, grateful, excited, stoked. Just had my first JDT article go out, talked about passion and my father and everything that I love about the industry and all of the people that are in it. So yes, I'm really, really, really happy. And I'm going to kick some booty, just saying.
Nice. Have you written your acceptance speech? Don't you have to give a little talk when they ring you in or however it works?
Have I written it? No. Have I put a lot of thought into it? Yes. My philosophy on getting up and just being honest and talking. So I'm sort of kind of putting it all together.
The following weekend is Voices of Dentistry. It's a dental podcasting summit. We will be there representing our industry along with a ton of other podcasts from dentistry. The cool thing is we will be the only dental laboratory podcast there. So we'd love to see some other technicians attend this show to prove how strong and relevant we are. We are there thanks to our good friends at Kettenbach. So remember, come and join us, Voices of Dentistry, January 24th to the 25th in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Holy moly, I thought it was in Vegas. Okay. I got to change my ticket. Just kidding.
Jesus, man.
I do think I thought it was in Vegas, though. Seriously? It's in Arizona? Well, that's fantastic. I'll be there.
I don't need Vegas 2 weekends in a row. That's
no doubt about it. Then, in February, dun, 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 the 21st and the 22nd, we are going to be at the biggest show in America, LMT Lab Day Chicago. Last year was an amazing, huge success for us. We got to talk to a ton of people. This year, we want to talk to even more. So be sure to check out this episode's show notes for a link to register to all these great events. And if you're there and you see us, please come by. And if you don't see us, I'm going to come by and grab you. So either way,
we'll get you on this program.
Yep.
So let's make 2020 even a better year for the dental laboratory industry. Not only are Barb and I working on some great content for the podcast and looking to take it to some great events, we want all of you to succeed and to get involved with improving not only your lab, but the profession as a whole. We want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. All right, everybody. That's all we got. We'll see you in 2020. Have a good one.
See ya. Be careful.
Bye.
Bye.